Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 3 of Unit 6, Module 1. Today we're going to be discovering and describing graphing patterns. One of the things that you're going to need for this lesson, make sure that you have your student book, page 206. And if you have any interlocking cubes, awesome. If not, we're going to have to kind of imagine that we're sitting in our classroom with our cubes in front of us building towers. When we're done with today's lesson, you're going to have to finish and complete your student book, page 207. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our lesson. Whoa, don't know what happened there, but we're back. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to think about these first three arrangements. And if you can't see those so well, I'll bring them up here on our computer. There are three sequences here. You can see that we have arrangement 1, we have arrangement 2, and arrangement 3. All right, what do you notice about those patterns? Now, just so that you get a backside view, here's a backside view of 2, and there's a backside view of 3. What are some of the things that you're noticing? Obviously, you're noticing that they get taller. Each one of our arrangements, they get taller, but how much do they get taller by? They get taller by a 2 by 2 set of cubes. We go 2 over here and 2 over here. And if we look on the back side, we're at 2 by 2. So we notice that it's a complete square that's added to the bottom of our first 2 cubes. And then our third arrangement, we just add another 2 by 2 square below. Okay, so with that, what do you suppose our fourth and fifth arrangement might look like? If you said that it would look like arrangement 3, but just with one more or two more 2 by 2s below it, you would be absolutely correct. So if we were going to want to build that pattern, we would just add 4 cubes to the bottom of each layer underneath the 2 cubes for a total of 18 cubes, right? But now let's say we don't have the cubes in front of us, and how can we predict how many cubes it would take us for the 10th arrangement? Now, there should be some math pattern or math equation we can kind of figure out to figure out how many cubes needed for that 10th arrangement. Now, if I take a look here, I notice that there's 4 cubes, 4 cubes, 4 cubes, and 4 cubes. So that is my constant. And so for every row, I am multiplying by 4. I'm going to use n for the rows. Again, writing with a stylus is not my my forte. And then what I have to do is I have to figure out what my 2 cubes were here on the top. Well, my students who have already done this lesson thought, well, I can just add 2 to my total, and that should give me my arrangement. So if that were true, I would multiply 4 times 5, correct? Because that would be my 5th arrangement, and then add 2. That equaled 22. Now, I only had 18 cubes here, so that would be incorrect. So what am I going to have to do to my equation to make sure I have 18 cubes? So when we examine this a little bit closer, we were multiplying 4 by the number of arrangements, and then we actually noticed that we subtracted 2. And by subtracting 2, I could then go 4 times the 5th row minus 2, and that would equal 18 cubes, which then we now have that total. So how many cubes would we need to make the 10th arrangement? Go ahead and figure that out. So you would have put 4 times 10 minus 2. That was 38 minus 2. And that would, oh, I'm sorry, 40. Mr. Keller makes mistakes. 40 minus 2, and then that equals 38. There you go, 38 cubes. Is that the number you came up with? Hopefully it wasn't 36 like I was just getting ready to come up with. Sometimes my brain works faster than my hands. So then if we wanted to find the number of cubes it would take for any row, we would then have to multiply 4 times whatever row. So if it's the 25th row, we would multiply 4 times 25. And then we'd have to subtract 2 because that top row only has 2 cubes in it. It doesn't have 4 cubes. And that would give us our answer for the number of cubes needed to build any arrangement in this pattern. Now, depending on your pattern, things might be different. All right, so now let's go ahead and take out our student books, open up to page 206. And this is a pattern or the arrangement that we just went over. And you could have and you can fill in the amount of cubes it takes for the bottom or for each arrangement on the bottom. So I would figure 2 for this first one. I would figure 6 for this next one. I would figure 10 for this next one. I would figure out 14 for this next one. And then I would figure out 18 for my last arrangement. Are those the numbers you got? Yes. I hope so. All right, and now they want us to write an ordered pair to represent each cube in the arrangement. So for the first, and I'll help you with this first one, this first arrangement had 2 cubes. So go ahead and pause the video and finish the rest of the ordered pairs for each of the other arrangements. And then start when you're done. The second arrangement would have a 2 and then a 6, and then a 3 and then a 10. The fourth arrangement would have 14, and the fifth arrangement would have 18 cubes. If you didn't get those answers, please go ahead and pause the video and fill those back in. So now once we have those ordered pairs, we're going to want to put them onto our graph, right? So what we would look at, we would look to see that our first arrangement had 2. So we have to put a dot right there on 2. And then for our second arrangement, we had to add 4 more, right? So then we go up to 6, and then we go to 10. And then for our fourth arrangement, we went to 14. And then for our fifth arrangement, we went to 18. What do you think the arrangement would be for 6 and 7? Obviously, there's a pattern. Go ahead and fill those in. So if we have 18, we're adding 4 more. So we're going to be at the 22, and then we're going to be at the 26. Now, I don't have the ability to draw a straight line, but if you have the ability to draw a straight line, go ahead and connect those dots. What do you notice about that line? Some of you may say it's a straight line. It is a straight line. Some of you may notice that there is constant growth. There is growth from one to the next, right? It's a +4. That's pretty constant throughout the whole arrangement. Every time we go to the next arrangement, we're adding 4. So it would be a constant growth. So that is the end of our first discovering and describing graphing patterns. Good job today. What we want to do now is take a look at what the remaining assignment is today. Go ahead and finish your student book, page 207, when you get a chance. If you have a chance to play another round of the Coordinate 4 game, that would be really good too. That would help out a lot. And if you have access to our Unit 6 resources and our March number resources, our March number corner online resources, feel free to go on to those and learn away. So if you have any questions, again, remember, email your teachers. Let us know if you are struggling or having some trouble, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. If not, have a great end of your day today and enjoy math.